So I'll install the database. So we'll check that.
Basically, what exactly you do? You just install the database MySQL. That's it.
Yes, yes. So instead of connecting some database, right, we should know what data is in the data, whether we're connecting properly or not. You can meanwhile we'll open the JMeter. We already written everything, right? So we'll directly open that one.
Yeah.
So you have any idea in the workbench?
Again?
Do you have any idea in this MySQL workbench?
No, this is the first time I can see this.
Okay. So this workbench is nothing but to access the database server directly, where you can write the query, where you can run multiple databases. It's like kind of IDE for the databases. Okay. So
when you will install it, it will come by default, right?
It will come by default with the MySQL setup. Okay. And you can see I already having the MySQL server running in my local machine. Okay. That's why you can say I already established connection with the localhost 3306.
Okay.
With the root username and password. Okay. And if you see go to schemas, you will see different tables are there. Okay, let's pick up this one. Select.
These are the default tables, right?
Yes, default. So I make this as a default schema so that we don't have to select the schema every time. So select from the actor. We run it. So we got this much of data there.
Okay.
Okay. So now we'll try to fetch this data from the JMeter.
JMeter, yeah.
Okay. JDBC request. And so this is where we have to establish connection to connect any database. It's not MySQL. You can connect any databases which are having the JDBC driver. So the database which is not having a JDBC driver, we can't connect. So it should be with the JDBC driver option. Okay, you can see database URL. Current is my localhost, right? So let's go to workbench.
So MySQL is having a JDBC driver?
Yes.
How did you know that?
Generally, this will be having it because it's the most common database to connect. Java.
So Oracle by default, I know JDBC should be there. SQL should not be there, right?
SQL also is there. I will show you which things are there. Okay. You can see in the JDBC driver class, right? Here the drop downs. Just select drop down, you can see. So these are supporting with JMeter and JDBC. MySQL, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Ingress, Microsoft SQL Server, Apache Database,
Okay.
all these things.
These are the adapter, I think, right?
Huh?
Database adapters.
Database adapters. Yes, connection adapters.
Okay.
So you can use whatever the database you are using, right? Based on that, you can use the particular thing. So here we're using this one. Okay. And password username is root. Okay. So the database URL will be a little bit different. It's not like HTTP kind of, right? So let me check in the internet because I forgot the syntax. JDBC connection. Yep. Okay, it's like this one. JDBC MySQL and this data. So we are writing this pattern. Okay. So let's copy this because what are the data is right? This is a common syntax. JDBC, then localhost. Suppose if a database somewhere else, right? You will use that particular IP machine, the way the database server is running.
And suppose it's like Oracle, then JDBC colon, what should be there? Instead of MySQL, what will be that?
Okay, let's check that. It's Oracle.
Okay. Oracle colon in. Okay.
And the class will be same, oracle.jdbc.driver. Okay. So here, once we connect to database, right? In the database, we have multiple things there. Correct. We have multiple different schemas, different DBs, right? So we should be knowing right which to connect. So we are connecting here Sakila. That's why after that we will give the table name. SKILA. So that database will go to from till this point, and here it will start that particular schema. Okay, and we give the username password while created your root and okay. So and to access this, right? So you can have multiple connections, correct? Suppose I have five DBs. I want to connect 5 DBs as well. So if I run this query, how this query will go to the particular DB? There should be map.
You are giving that database name, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we'll give the variable name. Suppose if I give pool here MySQL 1, okay, and there is kind of object. Now if I give her MySQL 1 here, so this will always go to that connection. Whatever query I will write here, right? That will go to the connection. Okay. Yeah. So the first 4 things are this connection, class, username, password, and the variable name. So then you have to use this variable name wherever you are using JDBC request. Okay. So let's see. So what is the table order? Select star from actor, right? Okay. Now let's run and see. No pool ensure matches name of the JDBC connection. MySQL queue. MySQL 1, MySQL 1, okay. Cannot load the JDBC driver class. MySQL, okay. So I forgot that to load the driver as well. So we have to download the driver. Okay. So then we have to use it. Let's go to there. Okay. So I'm downloading the driver from here. Okay, Windows 64. Installer. एक सेकंड ना. So we should have in download without that jar, we can't connect it. It's connector.
Okay.
It says install all in one package. Let's see. Where can I find it? Okay, connector J is there. So this is jar. Control C, and let's check whether whatever we're missing is correct or not. Okay, that one only. So we have to keep in the lib folder. In our JMeter. Okay, so whenever we do these things, right, we will restart the JMeter. It's not opening. Let's open. Now let's run and see.
The
Okay.
driver is important. Yeah.
Yep. And you can see whatever written here, and you can see the data. If you see the data,
yeah, sorry, like, can you go to the JDBC connection configuration? There also we can put the SQL statement, right?
which one?
The SQL statement, we can put it in the middle here in it.
Yeah, yes. It's a kind of init one. I mean, it's the starting of the DB, right? You can use it here, but I never used here.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay. And once you see the data means you successfully connected established connection to the JMeter with the database. Okay.
So what is the purpose of this one?
So here, so generally, if your application is obviously your application is database, okay. Suppose the particular call is fetching the user profiles. Okay. So it means there is a two components involved. One is your API, whatever written that is API which code. That is one part, and that code will talk to DB. So that's second part.
Correct.
So if this is like a faulty one, okay, so this is like you're getting a high response time. So how will know if the call with the DB or with the ever code? Because DB has logs, right? If multiple users connection are in the database, you will get the logs there. So to know that one, what we're doing, we directly test the particular query, whatever application using. We'll hit that particular application query here and we'll test it, this query directly, whether your query is taking the time or not, or your API. Okay. Yeah. So if you're using Oracle database, right, then Oracle database inbuilt profile is there. You don't have to go from here, but if there is another database, we'll use here. That's first purpose. Okay. Second purpose, like we did a correlation, right, earlier, which we extracted from the response time. But there's some applications like to pick up the OTPs, to log in, right, they need OTPs. So with this thing, right, we can't connect to mobile and we can't get the OTP. So what we'll do, OTPs will be stored in the DB. So we'll connect the DB here and we'll hit the particular query. From the output, we'll take that OTP and we'll log in. So without any manual intervention or without disabling the OTP flow, we can use this kind of things. Like to pick up the OTPs or to pick up the password or to pick up some data. Because our application may call DB directly using some function directly, right? The Java is not doing. So to avoid all this, like saying that we can't connect to the basis, so we have a provided option so that you can use this at any time, anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you are getting the data. This is fine. But how will access it? Correct. Now I can't write regular expression. I can't here export or JSON. Correct. So there should be some way, no? So let's add a debug sampler to check it. Okay, you can see here the result variable name. Suppose if I give names, okay, and I default by store as a string. Let's see. You can see names is totally has the whole thing in a JSON format. So if I do names of last name, right, like our JSON expressions, you will get the data. So, but it is again hectic, right? Again, I need to write a post process something, and again I need to fetch it. So instead of that, we have one more option. So what is the output we are getting? We are getting 4 columns, now. So simply copy these 4 columns. Okay, let's write the comma base. Okay, now let's see. And now see, we have these things. Separation. Now I can access the last name of 1, last name of 2. Actor ID of 1. I can access any field, anything. We don't have to, I give just last name of 10, right? It will pick up the 10th value. If I give actor ID of 4, it will pick up the 4th ID, 4th row. Okay, like this, we can control this one, the database. Okay. So this is where we can connect. So here, by default, you can keep the select statement and you can write any statement over here. So like delete, update anything, or you can change the statement here and you can do it as well. But always advisable to use query type as select statement and write the select, delete, update, anything. So purposes also we can do it. Okay. Other one more purpose is just I got remembered. So for load testing, right, we need a data, no? So generally, how we'll create, either we have some API or either developer has some local scripts to create, right? Or you can use JMeter here to insert queries to create the data. So we'll put a CSV file and we'll write insert query and we'll hit 100 times. So it will create 100 records, right? In the JMeter, in the DB. So that way also you can have the, you can use of the JDBC.
Yeah, so we can write JDBC request, right?
Yes, yes.
What we can do, like suppose like there is a stored proc response time you have to calculate, right? For the X number of users. So you can put that, run it for single request for 10 times to capture the response time. Like for 10 users, how is the response time for that particular stored proc or this particular request?
Right.
Exactly. It's a database testing kind of thing.
A database load kind of.
Okay.
But here we can do only that for helping is to simulate the load. So the performance, so we'll get only response time here, right? Not only another thing. So other things we have to check from the DB only. When how many logs are getting created, how many tables or how many views are getting created. So like, those things we have to check from the DB.
Okay.
Clear, right? So this is like a JDBC with the JMeter. Okay. So shall we go to next topic then?
Yeah.
So now we'll go with the Influx and Grafana. Right. So what is Influx and what is Grafana?
Grafana is a tool to show you the graphs. Influx is a DB which is, I think, store the loader JMeter logs.
So Influx is nothing but one of the DBs where you can store the data, and Grafana is a monitoring tool of the matrix of the data. Whatever data pushed, right, from the logs or from the results or from your test, anything. whatever the doc, any type of log you can push in some any database, not in Flux, any database.
It's a graphical tool, basically.
Right. So Grafana will help us to visualize the data. Okay. So I already downloaded those things. So let's see. Okay, we can easily download Influx. There are a lot of documentation available there. Okay. Okay, you can see now DB started, and whatever I do calls, right, you'll get the data here. Right. Now let's open the Grafana. Okay, I didn't kept this data maybe. Okay, let's download the Grafana quickly. Okay, and we'll open the. There's one article link which I follow. Sorry. I follow this guy, my office as well. Whenever I stuck with anything on this one. Let's download Grafana. Right, Windows. So in our office, right, we use Kibana and Elastic. Elastic is our database and Kibana is our visualization tool.
Like a freeware kind of Splunk.
It's kind of fun. So Splunk, Kibana, and Grafana will come in a place, but they are like a little bit pros and cons. So Splunk is only for the kind of logs; it won't give much graphical visualization. But Kibana and Grafana are the best. So Grafana is the best preference.
How these freeware tools are making money?
They won't,
Or
yeah. They won't. What the main purpose of the freeware tools, right? After 2 years, 3 years, once they're complete market dependency, then some tools will buy that tool. Till that point, they will upgrade and they will create the open source tools.
It's very bad.
Yeah, that's the main goal, because they need also bright, right? How they will get that better. If you observe, right? If you say this LinkedIn, isn't it? So the earlier LinkedIn was free and there's no things. But once Microsoft purchased it, now everything is commercial. Premium accounts, you have to buy, you have to do the things. But the tool has to be picked. See here for JMeter, right? See, now BlazeMeter is purchasing the JMeter license. They can't use JMeter as it is, no, it's an open source license.
LoadRunner also did one thing, like if you want to run JMeter script, they are not charging anything, it's free. You can integrate JMeter script, run it, whatever you want to do.
Yes.
JMeter compatibility. And you will see nice graphs also.
And most of the things, right? It's like helping. Like if you know something, right? We are contributing like that. There should be some guys here who has really passion about that. I mean, they can do that, have control. Because see, we are doing our office work and we can't contribute our office work normal. I mean, these are types, everything.
People are there, like brainy people are there, right?
Ah,
We are the end user, they are the
Yeah.
developers, right?
right, yes. And if you check the Git, right, the Git is free. But now if you check the companies, no, they can't use Git direct. So they are now they are in the name of Bitbucket.
Bitbucket, yeah.
Yeah, that's a license again. Says to exit the continuation, but I didn't think anything.
I joined TCS actually,
Oh,
but I don't like it.
that's my first company.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's only for one level here, either starting level or either ending level. My opinion, sir.
The people are like functional QA, somehow they have ditched the, I don't know, functional QA people they are putting in performance.
And
And
but in the
people
if you check US and Canada, right, they mostly prefer TCS as a client over there. Correct.
Canada only.
Canada. Because my friend is also working from the TCS client in the Canada.
I'm thinking to move. Seriously.
You can also control the India teams here from there.
I don't like. I'm not enjoying. That's the problem.
But that's a facility. That's what people are giving about. I'm not sure what's wrong with Grafana, but anyway, I'll explain you, but I'll try to install it. Okay. All right. So we can store everything on the Influx, right? Actually, we create the tool out of these things. Because myself and my team, we created a tool so that a user simply execute something and he will directly go to Gibbon and will check it. Okay. So like suppose we are running suppose 10 or 20 tests, right? And you want to know how the tests are performing well or not before release and after release. Those things. Right. So you can't go everything in a manual and you can't check.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's where this tools will come, because this tool historical it will show the historical data. In the historical data, they can select a particular API, particular feature or particular run, so that they can compare the things, how they are performing well, whether the response times are increasing, decreasing, or you are using a multiple data, or which data is having a high response, which data is giving low response times, kind of those things. You get everything from here. It's simple. Okay, let's open it from at least from this side. Even though we don't have a setup, we try to create add thread serve, add sampler. You have to use backend listener. Okay, so backend listener will help us to any databases. Okay, let's go to chicken plugin. I may not install it. Okay, you can see, right? JWT listener pair. You can say Elasticsearch. If you want to explicit Elasticsearch, you can see the document again. Okay, and we don't have Kafka. So Okay, now I can open that one. It's backend listener. Yeah.
You need to restart it, right? No.
It's restarted automatically. Oh, sorry. The listener, I need to look.
Backend listener. Yeah, no.
Backend listener. Okay.
Yeah.
There here you can select. So these are all the clients is providing. If I use InfluxDB, you can use this one. If you're using Elasticsearch, we will use. So in our team, right, we're using Elasticsearch because using that DB. Okay. If you are using Graphite, it's also one of the DB. You can use this one. So these things you can use here. And simply you'll give the particular URL and using password of connect DB, right? And that's it. Okay. Yeah. So whatever you run, right, whatever number of tests run, everything will be creating the entries in the DBs. If you run 100 users, whatever the records. So based on the timestamp, it looks everything there. Right. So once we go to that thing now, then we have to whether Grafana or something, right? Either you can create a manual thing. Okay. Let me show you graph. Like this. Let me show. Let us show us here on. Okay. Okay, like this you can create the data, but you don't know, right, what things you require, what things are not. So that's why we have Grafana plugins. Okay, Grafana performance templates. Dashboards. Okay, so here we can select. You can see here you can select performance. So they'll have the default this template performance one, this templates. So you can use these templates easily and create the data out of it. I mean, you don't have to create the dashboard from scratch.
Yeah, but the connection should be InfluxDB and Grafana to be connected, right? The pipeline should be created. So when you JMeter run, data will flow to Influx and Influx data to be pulled by Grafana to show it, right?
Yes, yes. It will show that one as well. You're able to see the screen, right?
Now your photo is showing.
So it's gone now.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. Let me connect my charge. Okay. So if you see in this document now. So here, first thing is we have to add the source. Right? It shows all the options are there. You can select the source. What are the sources which is there? So in the source, we'll give the database URLs. The where the particular thing is there and how to extract it, username and password, if there is a certificate, the answer, all the things. So once you do that, right, then we'll import the dashboard. This is import statement. So we can download the dashboards here in the JSON format. Okay, you can add it from the directory there, or you can add the JSON as well. Either way, it is fine. So whatever your company is policy allowing, right, you can do that one. So then you will simply, based on your timeline, you can see the timeline here. What are the data you push, and just change the names according to data, and you'll get it. Okay. And if you see, it's some running from 3 user test, no? And from 3 user test. And you'll see there is some particular number of reports are there and kind of blah blah blah.
Can I do that practically, Ravi? Like if it is not working today, so
No. But no. After our class, I'll try to install everything ready.
yeah,
But I'm explaining you in a high level.
great. Yeah.
So once then it will display the data like this, we can and we can contribute. And in the Grafana, right, we have option to share the dashboard as well, to share the snapshot, so that people who have with access, I mean, they should be
In
logged in.
my project, like they are using Grafana dashboard, but mostly they are using to monitoring the Kubernetes. So means you can say that it's in a high means like dashboard level, because Grafana is not a small thing; it's a big thing, right? So some people we are using performance template, but it can be used for server side monitoring as well, right?
Yes, most of the, but server side, I wouldn't suggest this as a tool, but to check the alerts, kind of to check the metrics. At one point, this Grafana will helpful.
Yeah, the graphs are looking very weird. Actually, it's not. It's like the way you see the server side monitoring graphs in Dynatrace, in Wiley Introscope.
Right.
Those were informative. This is not that informative, but companies to save the money, right? They are using
yeah, that till that some point this will be helpful.
It's very difficult to find out like when there is a spike happened, what happened. It's a bulky graph. All those things are coming up.
Correct. Okay. So and we can share this option. So whoever the access they can also share, and that is this like this. Okay. Yep. Okay. So this is a within Flex, but today I will done with the setup, but tomorrow again we'll have real thing. Right. Now let's check the syllabus, whatever we have left. So let's go to Jenkins now. So what is Jenkins?
Jenkins is a like freeware software to make pipelines.
Automated pipelines mostly. Kind of one of the DevOps job. Yeah. So this will come in the place where we have suppose we have a server to deploy, and to deploy the server, right, we need to delete something, we need to add something, we need to create some component, like there's some steps. So every time if you want to follow the steps, right, then we'll go with Jenkins, which is a continuous deployment. Yeah. So we simply this is the only Jenkins or continuous deployment helpful only if our pattern of steps is a sequence or same kind of. So that's where it's easy for us, because we'll define all the steps over there and simply run that job and it will create everything for you, as we don't have to go for particular things. Right. So how this will helpful in the or JMeter or in the perform testing scope. So it's like once our build is deployed, generally people will be using Jenkins. I mean, half part of the at least process are using Jenkins, so that they will use this into deploy the server. So once they deploy server, right, they validate, right, whether the server is performing well or not. So obviously they will run the functional test suite. So immediately after functional test, if they want to execute the perform test suite, that's where this will be helpful for us. So, but we should know, right, how to define the steps and how we can use Jenkins, how we can integrate. It's not like I can say Jenkins run the test. So that's with the first purpose, where after deploying the server, immediately to continue the test and to check the statistics of the metrics, It's like a deploy testing, right? We can, I mean, there's no person required for testing and confirm. So based on this test result, we'll get to know whether server is deployed properly or not, there's something wrong issue or there or not. Okay. So generally, Jenkins will be installed in one of the server machines where that machine, with the help of that URL, will be accessed. So, but here we'll use our local one. Okay, I installed, right? It's running maybe with localhost 80. Let's see. Okay. Now Jenkins is running in my machine, right? So now let's open this file. Okay, let's copy the transfer. This is our first time job. Right? So here, first thing we need to install the plugins. So here we need to install performance plugins. So we should be having, starting installing. So we should know how to run any tool from anywhere. That's where will Jenkins will help you, because Jenkins is like a blank system. So you should be knowing each and every step to control it. Suppose assume that I'm a layman person. I want to run the perform test, right? So if I don't know JMeter, I don't know about test, I can't run it good. The same as like me. If I assume that I'm a Jenkins, so you have to tell each and everything so that I can control or I will follow your steps as it is. So if something missed, right, then gone. Your build is won't be fast and the server won't be great. So this is going to take much time. So I'm using Jenkins in our machine office now currently.
2-3 years back I used it like.
So in our project, right, we have a wrapper. We have one more tool. That's like kind of wrapper, but backend is Jules only. Sorry, Jenkins.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They are using Bamboo.
No, Bamboo. Okay. I heard
Actually,
about it, but I
they,
have never used it.
they at that time they used they started talking about Bamboo. Different people they will come and like as you said, right, once that will be getting used, then that will be licensed. So
right.
whoever is the top level, if they will sponsor that tool, okay, then Bamboo, Jenkins, power.
Now they're getting Puppet, new tool.
But some of the banking, right, they are not because of the security and all those things, they are not allowing. BlazeMeter, they are not allowing.
Yeah, correct.
But JMeter already like taken half of the market.
Yeah.
So this Micro Focus team has to think something different, their market strategy.
They need to reduce some things at least. The cost is very high.
Because of the cloud and all those things, right? People have less care about the performance and all those things. Because they know like at least the memory, out of memory, these errors are not going to happen.
Ah, so after Jenkins, right, we have left with master and slave, okay, and coding.
Coding, we have to go with this one, right? Mostly the thread groups.
Thread group. So these three are pending. Let me cut it. Thread groups. So after completing on 3 thread groups, then we are closing the syllabus. Okay. Skip and okay, we'll go with admin. We'll create one more user. Okay. Admin. Okay, so this is a URL host. So now Jenkins is ready, right? Now we need to trigger the JMeter from Jenkins. That's the first aim. Right. So it means if I given any system, so it should automatically execute the JMeter. So now you need to look out how you can execute the JMeter. What are the possible options? The first option is JMeter.bat, right? So I need to invoke the JMeter.bat. So if I invoke JMeter.bat means it will run it. Correct. But I need to run the script, right? I mean, I need to run the JMX file. So that's I can't do, from a UI. I can't open it's not now UI tool. Now open the JMeter.bat and running it. Right. So there should be some other option. That's where we'll get a command lines. We have JMeter command line. It means you can control the JMeter scripts by the command lines. Okay. So let's learn that first. So we'll go to bin, right? Open the CMD here. Right. So now JMeter, if I hit JMeter now, it will open the UI. But I don't want it, no? So I will say JMeter minus N. It means I'm saying to open JMeter in non-GUI mode, minus and nothing but non-GUI mode. Okay, and I need a JMX file, no, to load it. So now give minus T, whatever the JMX file, which path anything. So let's copy your path. Let's take this one, right? Control C. As in JMX. Right. So if I run this now, it will run the script. This is, you can see that test got executed and everything. But here we don't know what has happened, right? Because we don't have yet to check pass or fail, we have seen anything is there. So that's why we have one more option, have minus L listener to save the output. So I will give what is it, December 20.jtl. Right. And we have minus JMeter log. If something wrong with errors, right? We'll get a tool errors. No? That's where we'll show JMeter log. December 20 JMeter log. So this is a full pattern. So just enter. So it everything and we'll store it in this logs file so that we can refer this thing to for any error or for any red tricks. Still running. Okay. And now you see, I didn't give any path, right? So by default, it will generate it in the bin folder.
Yeah.
You can see .jtl and .log. When I open this log, it will show what is happening and everything. And if I open this JTL, we'll get the matrix data.
Correct.
Right. So now, and we have a lot of options in here to control it. Suppose we do jmate minus help. See, it will give these things.
Mm.
How to run server mode, command mode. Right? Everything it will show you. So now we will use this in the JMate, Jenkins to run the JMate scripts. You understood, right? So
Correct,
here
yeah.
JMate has provided these command lines. That's where it is easy for to run in the Jenkins. If assume that if JMate has not provided this command line options, no, then you can't control it, right? Right. Now let's go to Jenkins. Let's create a new job. Okay, I will do perf test 1.
It's a freestyle project.
Yeah. Okay, now select a free line. So pipeline has thing by multiple jobs together, right? Now we'll set a free line. Click on OK. So now we need to set up our things. Generally, what we'll do. So we are not downloading from any Git, right? We simply give none. Okay, and if you want to pass the data from the job, no, then we need to check this option. I mean, if you want to pass the dynamic values to your script, otherwise we can ignore this. Okay, next. And this is like a scheduling part, how we want to schedule. And here is a build. Okay, now here build, you need to check what is things you require. So here we need a Windows batch command because our is a batch file. When we are running on the CMD, right? So we need CMD as well in it. So just click on CMD. Okay, and here we need to give a file. I mean, first what we have to go CD. It should go to this bin location.
Yeah, bin.
Right? Then we have to copy, simply paste this. Let me put simple thing first, or let me copy everything. Okay. Copy. Right. Now this is build. So once you done build, right? If you want to do anything, that's where post build will come. So suppose if you see, how we will know whether a test case pass or fail based on the JTL, right?
Correct.
So that's where we'll give that option here. So let me add the performance plugin later, and we'll use that option here. Okay. Currently, first let me save this, and we'll run. Okay, now simply go to build now. Build schedule, and we have to check on the logs. The mistakes, right? I mean, see, it started. You can see, and you got the end of the run. What is the time now? 9:59 now, and we check the log files. See, it updated. Or let me give a new data there. So let's go to back to project and configure. So let's give here _1 _1 to confirm, right? Whether it's really creating the or running up. Save. And again build now. You can see second. You can see the numbers here. So this will help us to clearly know what is happening. See, it picked up underscore one underscore. So if something wrong, right, we'll get the error here. Based on that, we need to check. So now let's check again bin folder. See, underscore underscore, the file got created. Means the first thing is okay. Now we successfully able to run the thing from Jenkins job from the JMeter, right? But why we are using Jenkins should be automatic, right? Instead of forwarding manually, we are using these things, right? Because we are expecting this tool gives everything to us.
Correct.
So if I do and go here and check manually, then there's no use of Jenkins. That I can do it from run only, right? That's where we use a plugin here, so that the plugin will help us whether perform test fail or pass.
Okay. Okay.
So we will simply get the email directly. So job will trigger automatically, and we'll get the email. That's it. Then based on that, we'll debug and we'll analyze. Right.
Okay.
So how to do that? Now let's go to Jenkins, and let's go to plugin concept, main at Jenkins. Okay, main as plugins.
JMeter.
Oh no, performance. Okay. So performance plugin. So we have option install without restart and install, because if Jenkins is like a team, right? If you do restart now, who are running jobs will gone. That's why I will select install without restart. Okay, installing. Let's wait for this. Okay, it's done. Let's go to our job. This is our job. The configure. So now post submit. Post means after once our action are made, building job, what you have to do. So here, if I see now we can see publish performance test report. Okay, because we have a plugin, right? That's what. See now here is the option. Post data files. So we need data files, no? Then only it can do something, right? So what is your data file? So this is my J.
Your voice is breaking, Ravi.
Sorry. So
Don't change your position.
I didn't change, but still. Okay. So this is JTL. Okay. This is the source as JTL. Okay. Now, so we'll use a error threshold where if there's some percentage of errors, okay, or if there's some percentage of response time. So based on that, I will fail it. I mean, 10% is okay for me. So I want pass. If I'm getting 20%. So or based on some response time, you can use these things. Or if there is at least 1% of error, just fail it. Right? So this is a simple value. A -1 means if there is any error, it will throw it. Okay. And simply save. Okay. Now, so and if you check the like before things, right? Just a minute, just a minute. Okay. If you see, so earlier you can see that both are showing pass and pass on success because there is no condition.
Okay.
Right now, let's see. Let's do build now. Console output. See, now it says failed
Yeah, why?
because there is an error 1% in our script itself.
Okay.
As we given, right, the condition.
Mm.
So it's valid. And if you go to our now, if you see the running test, right, build history, it shows fail.
Mm.
So this is the way we configure. Let's again go to once the job. So main thing is you should have the performance plugin, because without that you can't do anything. Otherwise, again,
And we can see the graph, right? Jenkins in the performance testing graph, like when
yes, we can see the graph. Let's go to our job. And it displays the graph. I think it's failure that may not be displayed, but it displays the graph as well. Okay, and we can have multiple plugins. Let's check what are the new plugins we have. Let's start the JMeter directly. Let's see if we have anything. Which is by load focus. Okay, let's check in the pair of. Okay, I think that thing is there. One more thing is there, I think. This is the one, I'm not sure. Okay, we will give the graph. Okay. So clear, right? So this is where we'll use Jenkins and job.
Yes.
Okay. So okay, then let me stop the recording.